I want to start off this video by saying I'm not one to succumb to peer pressure. But there's a sequel to Renegade! Let's go! Jokes aside, I'm actually really excited for this one, especially because David Lin is the one that composed it this time around, so it's not Jason Walsh, and I'm really interested to see how a sequel from a different person is going to feel, and it might be completely different, but I guess we won't know till we start, so let's go! Also, let it be known that I did, in fact, re-listen to Renegade before this, so I'm very fresh on how the original sounded. Oh, just a sun right in the back. Ooh. Starting a little bit more somber. I do know that they use the same vocalist as well, and rightfully so. Ooh. Oh! Oh! Hey! Yeah. Yo! Substantial back with those raps, dude. Those bars. I love the little nods to Renegade so far. The composition and lyrics. It's really interesting hearing this with like a different emotional approach to it, but at the same time pretty familiar. This one feels a little bit less cocky. There's more resolve to it overall, like lyrically especially. I really love that bit too. That's a really nice nod to Renegade. That little gap there. Get up and go. She ain't no quitter, but known to deliver a heck of a show. Light up the sky, she fly, mistakes are high. She's never scared to go low. It's better you know. For you get toe to toe, a square Brazilian fake. Stomach rumbling. Dude, I love Substantial's flow. Feels so clean. That big bass hit right when it hits the chorus. That big chesty feeling really hits you right in the core. The approach on this is so cool. As a sequel, especially. Every pair of wings I clip is all just for the thrill of it. The thrill of watching them go down. Man, that is such a great sequel track, dude. So first things first, David, you nailed this sound. I honestly thought there was nobody out there that would be able to hold a candle to how Jason writes, but you really did a great job at matching his sound and making this feel like a true sequel. That's very difficult, in my opinion, trying to make a sequel to something made by somebody else and trying to keep it coherent between the two. But those little nods that were added throughout, I mean, overall, overall, the synth scope of this was very accurate to the original. It felt very familiar. I didn't feel like I was being brought into like a family reunion of people I never met before. Like I was very familiar with the sound that was happening throughout this whole song, especially that little gap, like I mentioned. I guess you would call it a pre-chorus. It's kind of a pre-chorus in a way, just that line of the "I like it that way, I'm never gonna change." Definitely a nod to the "I'm a renegade" part from the original, and I love the way that that changes the entire feel of the song. The lyrics of this as well, like I said during the reaction, just feel a lot more personal. Like it goes from the cockiness of "I'm a renegade, you're not gonna tell me what to do," to a little bit more of a personal take on these lyrics that feels more like maybe she's a little worn down by this choice, but she knows that it's the one she has to make, and the decisions made are at very least hers. I don't know the character W all that much at all, so I could be wrong there on what I'm getting off that, but I'm getting that feeling off these lyrics, and I like that. I really like this slightly more emotional approach to this, instead of just, "I'm cocky, I'm gonna do what I want, you can't tell me what to do, you're not my dad" kind of energy that the original gave, which, while fun, I do love the emotional edge that this one brings along as well. Musically, there are some really fun things in there that I noticed that I was really digging. Like during the chorus especially, there was a specific thing happening on the instrumental where like as the beat hit, we got those like big beefy bass hits, like I said, all those impacts that I was loving. On that, felt like there was a little bit of a delay to the cymbal that was hitting at the same time, or the same time, I suppose. It felt like it was a little slowed down on that, and I don't know if that's just a byproduct of the sample that David was using for this, or if that was intentional, having that little bit of a delay that made everything feel a little bit more slowed down, like it paced the song, and I really like how that felt. I didn't expect that to be there, and I really didn't start feeling it until about the second time through the chorus, and it made the entire thing feel just a little bit more paced, like you're kind of rocking with it. You kind of have that feel, that delay is pulling you along. It's got kind of a churn to it, like a wheel slowly rolling on a flat surface, because you're not really going downhill, nothing's accelerating, you're just kind of sticking with it, and you're feeling that pulse. That's really neat. And the other thing that I really love about this in instrumental is actually during substantials parts, during those raps, some insane matching with the lyrics and the instrumental. I know that obviously there's the whole system of working with the lyricist, and if you get like a recording back, you might want to adjust the song to make that feel a little bit better, but maybe it's a matter in the opposite direction where he got the beat at some points and added those on top. I'm assuming it's the prior, but I could have seen either or. Either way, that triplet section in there where he just throws on, especially the little dance on the hi-hats, just to give that extra crispy punch to those, just, dude, it's so good. And back on the chorus, there was just some really nice layering happening with the vocals, her singing different parts just slightly, as well as having them panned out very wide, especially at the end. You could hear like both of her takes in either ear, and that's just so neat. I love the feel of that. It adds so much room. That's a thing I talk about all the time. David nailed it here. This feels so nice. Those layered vocals really do add a punch, especially on X.ARI's voice. So it's just, I love it. It's good. It's good. Great. It's good. And overall, this is just an amazing song, especially to be a sequel of such a fan favorite. This track holds up to the hype of that original, and it just runs with it, which is very, very difficult to do, and I love to be able to say that wholeheartedly with my whole chest, that this is an amazing, amazing sequel to that song, such a legacy to uphold and keep to, such a candle to try and match at that flame is just insanely difficult, and David fucking nailed it. So here we are in the post hype. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see me get to more of the Arknights stuff, especially from the recent event, I will be getting to the animation stuff at some point. I'm sure there's other songs to get to as well. I saw Ripple is out too, so I'm gonna have to start thinking about how long I'm gonna have to take to get through all these and how often I want to get to them. But I will be getting to as many as I can. Whichever one you guys want me to get to first, leave a comment down below below to let me know which one I should get to first, because I'll prioritize through the comments like I usually do. And otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more and all that mess, you know how to do that. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!